Hi, my name is Ania Koluszewska. Welcome to my series on successful conflict resolution. If you are a manager, you are highly likely to play an active role in resolving conflicts within your team. When conflict arises, you either feel that you need to help resolve it in the interest of the whole team, the working atmosphere, the team's productivity, their focus, or you may simply be approached by a team member and asked for help. Sometimes it will be one, sometimes both sides of conflict who will come asking for assistance. But it may also be another member of the team who is not a conflict side, but who can see that conflict is destructive to the team and its members, or that the sides are simply not able to resolve this conflict without help from a third party. Very often, members of your team may assume that it is in fact your responsibility to help resolve a confrontation within your team. When faced with conflict, one of the fundamental questions that you need to ask yourself is, whose conflict is it anyway? In other words, who owns the conflict in question? And the reason for this is that the golden rule of conflict resolution is that a conflict is resolved by the individuals who own it. A follow-up question must be, if I step in, is it going to benefit the conflict sides and the whole team? When you do intervene in a conflict between two employees, there are a few pitfalls that you need to be aware of. First of all, you may be perceived as taking sides, especially if a request to intervene comes from one side of the conflict only. If you exert your authority to settle the issue, you may stop a team member from developing their own conflict management skills. In other words, this may prove to be a very short-term solution, and next time there is a confrontation, you may have to step in again and again and again until your team learn that only you can do something about their confrontation. Even if as the team leader or team manager you don't own the conflict because you're not one of the sides, you do have a vested interest in resolving the conflict, precisely because it involves your team members and it may impact the work of the whole team. One of the ways in which you can help resolve an issue is through mediation. A mediator is basically a third party who helps people find resolution to the conflict that they are involved in. There are a few important things to bear in mind if you choose this path. First of all, mediation is a confidential process, and this is true for the sides as well as the mediator. It's also voluntary. As a manager, you cannot force anyone in conflict to agree to mediation, even if you think this would be best for everyone involved. The process is informal, and the mediator must be completely impartial. Organizations often use the services of mediators from outside, as impartiality is simply easier to achieve if you don't come from the same context. A mediator does not impose a solution. The role of the mediator is to help the conflict sides discover their needs and their interests, find common needs and interests, and to develop their own solution or solutions to the problem. Mediation is a cooperative effort, and as such, it usually leads to strengthening working relationships in the long run. A mediator is not anyone's advocate and will not take sides. And that's why the role of the mediator must be defined right from the start of the process, so that the sides understand that the mediator will facilitate the discussion, but will refrain from giving advice or opinion even if directly asked. Last, but certainly not least, even if mediation does not lead to conflict resolution, there is a very powerful and lasting result of a good mediation effort. It encourages communication and better understanding of the other side and their perspective on things. And this in turn translates into less conflict in the future and better teamwork. Mediation is a powerful instrument if used well. And this is why more and more organisations recognise the value of a good mediator, and why some schools are slowly beginning to implement peer mediation schemes, training children and teenagers in the skill of positive conflict resolution. In my next video, I'd like to focus on micro-inequities as one of the causes of conflict. However, if you would like to find out more about mediation, do let me know in comments. For now, thanks for watching and see you soon.